Namaskar and welcome to this exciting new episode of Sathology Debunking Mythology. And I have a very, very special guest. You've heard him many times. There is a playlist by his name on the Sathology channel. And he's the Vice Chancellor of Bilaspur University, is Atal Bihari Bajpayee
Yes,
University
thank
in,
you.
in
Thank you,
Chhattisgarh.
Aditya. Thank you,
And,
Aditya.
and he is a scholar, a dharmic. You can call him a guru also to some extent.
Thank you.
But
Thank
yes,
you, Aditya.
and also a renowned economist. So it is a great pleasure to have him. So before we start the session, I'll just say that you can see in the background, and gradually I'll say India is developing fast. That even the small airports are getting upgraded now. Sat means truth. Logos means in Latin means a study or science. So Sathology means a study of truth or study of science of truth. And also, it's an exact antonym of mythology. The word mythology is a negative word, which means the science of fake. Myth means fake, lie, or imagination. Our scriptures, ancient heritage of the whole world, Ramayana. I'm not saying even Americans should read that, and therefore I say Ramayana, Mahabharata, Bhagavatam, Veda, Puran, Upanishad, these are all Sathology. Sathology is a new word, is a new adjective. So you can don't never call it mythology. Mythology is used for Greek history, Roman history, and lots of Native American history because it is written by the conquerors. Same happened with India. Most of the history of India is written by the conquerors or looters, and which should be actually called mythology. So today, Indian texts they teach mythology to their young students, and therefore they are not able to realize the true potential. The biggest crime on humanity or disrespect to the humanity is to tell them the lies, and that to
Oh, very
recorded
correct.
lies.
Very correct. Very correct.
So with that, we start the show, and let us welcome Dr. and Professor ADN Bajpayee.
Thank you, Aditya. Thank you very much.
So transcendentalism and Nishkam
Yeah.
karma. So,
Yeah.
I have a joke on transcendental. When you go beyond the dental pain, it's called transcendental. But how do you put transcendental? Because English has very few good words.
Last time also, I think you use this word, you see, getting pain out of your teeth, dental. No, it has nothing to do with, you see, dental or dental. Transcendental is very sophisticated, you see, feeling. It's just a feeling, it's not a word, it's in the concept. Simple feeling. Because the Sathology, which you are just mentioning, explaining the concept of Sathology. Sathology without transcendentalism cannot be enjoyed. The entire purpose of our literature, our spiritual pursuits, our yoga, our reading is to obtain that stage of transcendentalism. So transcendentalism is a state of mind in which one gets detached with these three dimensions of life. The Einstein, you see, talked about the theory of relativity. Actually, as many scientists have done harm to sciences, Einstein also did by simply mentioning that everything is relative, relative to see time, relative to time, space as matter. Everything is attached with all things. It was just simply relative. Explanation can be see, related to all these three dimensions. But our you see, literature, our you see, total concept is to detach from all these three time, space, and matter. Then only you can enjoy the thing. You can engross. Transcendentalism means getting beyond the seen world, reaching to that unseen is the world which gives you pleasure, which gives you peace, which gives you sustainability, which gives you eternality, which connects, you see, which connects uh, with each other, which connects yourself with the society, it connects with the nature, it connects with the universe. It's all transcendental, Aditya.
And the second one is like you put it very rightly, and I was just joking, I was telling lightly. But yes, the connotations of transcendental are very deep. But if you ask a linguist, he'll tell you exactly what I told you, because that's the origin of the word. So the Greeks,
No, see,
especially the
transcendental, both are not a separate word. If you just separate them, then you see you can have any other meaning. Transcendental, not transcendent, it is transcendentalism, isn't it? Transcendent means crossing the things,
yeah,
isn't it?
I was told this by Jeffrey, and we both were discussing, and I think today also we will be discussing that Jeffrey. He's a linguist.
Yeah,
Now, coming
yeah,
back to the concept of karma,
yeah,
and we
yeah,
discussed the transcendentalism and nishkam karma. Nishkam.
yeah,
So there are a lot of people we do very little things, and karma is the principal moving object. So if he is the core concept. Without karma, there is no dharma. So
yeah,
in the Shastra also says, Brahma karma subhavajam, Chhatra karma subhavajam, Shudra karma subhavajam. So people are known by their karma, and
yes,
Vaishya karma subhavajam. So so even
yes,
even is the concept of karma, which is pradhan. Like if you pradhan means main. Without karma there is no spirituality. There is no
yes,
dharma. So before
yes.
we talk about Nishkam karma, then what do you speak? What is the importance of karma first?
Actually, you yourself mentioned that karma is everything. But when you just mention Swabhavajam is more important than the karma. Karma is an outer part of this activity, which can be, you see, perceived, which can be, say, tasted, which can be experienced like that. But the intentions behind karma are more important. Here in India, we have been talking about intentions as well as the karma. Both are important. Karma, which is visible in the world, that can be, you see, cultured, that can be, you see, that can be, you see, activated further. But the intentions are more important. Intentions, if intentions are bad, even the good karmas won't be give you good results as such. As I have been, you see, mentioning several times, so far as outer activities are concerned, they are the same. You see, if one person is having gun in his own hands, one with an intention to kill the persons, another with an intention to protect the country. And so both die. One becomes a martyr because his intention was to protect the country. Everybody worships, everybody comes to receive his body. At the same time, a dacoit also perform the same activities, but for his own interest. He kills the person, he is being jailed. As far as outer activities is concerned, both are the same. But intentions are different. So different intentions make all issue differences. So when you have mentioned Swabhavajam means originated from one's own, you see, nature, one own Swabhava. Swabhava means a person's his own, you see, self, self experience, self realized souls, you see, deeds as such. So if you are you see Kshatriya, you should go for a Chhatra Dharma, and from Chhatra Dharma, Chhatra Karma is to protect the society as such. If you are protecting the society by his own deeds, that is Chhatra Dharma. And Brahmana Dharma is to teach the people, to offer you see, jnana to many people, to go for you see, yajna, everything. That is Svabhavajam karma. It is not that you are taking everything for your own self. If you are taking for your own self, you're just moving away from your see, dharma. Dharma is the mantra of karma, and karma is the realized activity of dharma. This is how dharma and karma both can go together. Aditya.
No, you put it so well, and I'm going to ask you a little bit lighter question, because when we
Please.
talk about karma, people become so proud of it that I am doing this, I'm doing this, I'm doing this. The karma is defined for in three types, and within karma, which is considered the prescribed duties or the duties which a person should do, uh, and the ultimate thing is loka sangraha, for the benefit of all,
Yeah, yeah,
especially people like you,
yeah,
shrestha, you're shrestha jana. So when you do karma for the all, but then the pride comes in big time, like I have done this
yes,
for you, I have done this, and which looks not very good on big people especially, because, and I think it's a great culture in India also, and Americans are exactly reverse of that. Americans will claim everything, like if they gave you a coffee cup, and they will remember it for 20 years that they give you a coffee cup. And
mm,
so that concept of nishkam karma, not expecting results, and not claiming credit for it, do you think that has got lost in today's world?
actually, you see, in our materialistic world, it is lost. It actually it exists in our see, natural world as such. I'll give you certain example. You just in a lighter mode, when you told that if an American offers you a cup of coffee, he remembers for the 20 years. And suppose he doesn't get thank you in the return, he will remember for 40 years. You see, he offered a coffee, and, no, and the person did not give, see, a word of thanks. That's another thing. Actually, our entire see, philosophy is based on nature. Man. You see, nature, take the sun. Sun gives you light, sun gives you energy, sun gives you power, sun gives entire see creation for the creative world. Sun gives you fragrance, sun gives you wheat and everything, all. These are transformation energy only. But sun doesn't expect anything in return.
Right.
That comes automatically to us. Similar, rivers, the mountains, the trees, the birds, the flowers, everything. They give you, see, without you see any expectations. That is nishkama karma. They are performing their duties on their, which you say, the swabhavajam. This is swabhavajam. Means it is as per your nature you are doing. It is not any compulsion. It is for the sake of anything. In return, you are see, getting anything. That is one part. You see, when Purusharth Chatushtaya, I think I discussed in one of your episodes, Dharma, Artha, Kama, and Moksha. There are four Purusharth. There is no place for karma as such, because karma is everywhere. Karma is in Dharma, karma is in Artha, karma is in Kama, karma is in Moksha. All four you see Purusharths are all pervading, all you see imbibed in karma. Without karma, all these four cannot see join hands together. And so far as the getting in return, or I am doing the thing, it is all you see non-scientific. Ahankara, aham karomimi ahankara. मैं कर रहा हूँ, I am doing, I am the doer. You're not the doer at all. Our entire philosophy begins with this particular connotation that I am not the doer. I am simple a nimitta, I am simple a medium. You see, I am born with certain, you see, duties, certain responsibilities. I am performing those responsibilities, that too by the grace of God. Whatever is being done, what I will say have done, you see, that is just due to, I am just made for it. You see, our previous birth sanskaras, the our forefathers, you see, sanskaras, they have come into see my body line. They have given me, you see, birth. Our soul is there. Soul is doing everything. I'm not the doer. The soul is doing everything, and that is scientific. Because till soul is there in our body, I'm speaking. I'm talking to Aditya. I'm on this see, episode and everything. When soul is gone, Then who will come? Who is ADN Bajpayee? Who is Aditya Satsangi? Where is mythology? Where is astrology? Everything is gone because everything is soul. Soul is doing. If soul is doing, then soul is the doer. You're not the doer. ADN Bajpayee is not the speaker. His soul is the speaker. And soul is the speaker, then credit should go to the soul. And ultimate soul is Paramatma. Atma and Paramatma. So soul is connected to Paramatma. Paramatma gives dictates to Atma. Atma does through mediums like me, you, and every word. This is the science, and that must be, you see, studied carefully and realized carefully and behaved, you see, in day-to-day life. Then only you can enjoy the life. Otherwise, tidbits hither and thither. You can just moving from one place to other. You won't find the solace. Aditya.
See, the problem with this mindset happens when we're competing with the Western universities who are scouring the Indian knowledge base and claiming credit and patenting it.
Yeah.
They patent on everything. So they got the numbers from India, they got the science from India, they got the
Yes.
astronomy from India, they got the chemical science from India, they even got the atomic science from India, the science of date calculation, time calculation,
Yes. Yes. Calendar,
movement of
everything.
suns, calendar they got from India, and they claim to be theirs. It's like the entire Western society or the scientific society of Western world is actually plagiarized from the Indian science. And sometimes when you're working with the people who are going to steal your knowledge and claim is that theirs, I mean, I don't say Vedas don't belong. Vedas belong to the whole world, not just India. But just because the Rishi Munis created this for human mankind, all Manushya. I have no problem in sharing that Vedic is a collective human heritage. It's not just for in Indians or India, but it's for the whole world. But a simple thank you, a simple appreciation. But instead of appreciation, they invent theories like we came to civilize the Indians. We built the railways. Actually, they built the railways to loot Indians, but they
Yes.
civilize Indians. We have come here. In the name of civilization, they spread this mindset of vikarma, which is exactly
Yeah.
of karma. So, how do Indians protect in this kind of blatant plagiarization?
Well, actually, see, Aditya, it's very true that they have rather ruined our civilization. They have just crushed our culture. They impose their language and then so-called traditions on us. That's very true. And Indians never believed in this patenting or property rights like that. Was just I'll connect my previous statement. Indians were thinking that knowledge, we cannot create knowledge. You see, Vedas, we wrote that they are apaurushya. We all know that some rishis have done a lot of research, then only some mantras. They see mantras, sakshatkar, you see, they have done it. They have just see mantras. They're the rishi, they are the seers. But they never claimed, you see, that they have been, you see, originator of these things. Veda Vyasa, you see, has certainly written, but he also said it is apaurushya. And today also, so many shlokas we are just chanting every day. So many poems we are chanting every day. But who has composed them? Nobody knows. Because we never see claim because we think that these have descended into our brain pool through some other power. So why to have is claim? Why to have is credit for it? And that you see is simply chanting of mantras, chanting of shlokas will vanish future as we Indians is for the entire humanity as such. So, your question, how to counter this is the Western world? I think we should not distract from our own path of uh, Vedic path, Vedic path of religiosity, Vedic path of benevolence, Vedic path of magnanimity, Vedic path of sharing assets. Because it's a temporary phase, whether it's a Western Europe or it's America or entire material culture, it will wither away one or the other way. Because plagiarized is a plagiarized property. You cannot be the owner of that particular knowledge. Ownership shall remain with Indians. I see I am talking today. You see, I'm not that a scholar as Western professor may be, but I am competent enough to see encounter with them on any particular topic. You yourself, you're not a professor in university, but you are debunking mythology. I think you have taken avatar. Some rishi has come through you, who is working in America, leaving his entire your industrial business, IT business, and gone to this gone to this studies of spirituality, gone to the Sri Vedas, Ramayana, Mahabharata. You are just discovering so many latent facts of the Indian literature. So something will come automatically because knowledge is not. You see, nobody can cover sun, Aditya. Nobody can cover sun. And we are the Suriputra. We are Suri Vanshi. We are the worship of the sun. The sun is our knowledge that will shine automatically on its own. Let some clouds of this materialism or materialistic world cover for some time. We should wait and watch. We should keep on doing the things as we are doing. Aditya.
Thank you for your kind words and dhanyavad in Hindi for these kind words. The sun, we touched the importance of sun here. Now, does sun observe our karma as a deva?
Yes, it does. It takes full care. It takes full care. It connects the things and it takes full care for our karma. If our karma is to plow the field, isn't it? As a farmer does, then sun takes full care of that farmer. If you have plowed the field, prepared the field for the seeds, then this is the sun which will be responsible for sprouting of those seeds and converting them into cereals like that. This is how sun does, but it does in such an automatic, spontaneous manner. You see, nobody knows it. This is the sun, the light which we are appreciating. It is all sun's manifestation. Sun converted into our flora into the thermal power, and that again got converted into power. It's just like that. This is all sun. The sun watches, sun does, sun appreciates, sun punishes also. Sun punishes and sun rewards also. But its way of doing is entirely different. It is not like that somebody putting on as a suit and a tie came and you have done like it, you are being paid for this, you have not done it, you will be punished for that. It does in a natural manner. In Mahabharata, you know that Mahabharata Shanti Parva, Raghuvansha Kalidas also mentioned when he was talking about taxation. As sun takes, the sun takes droplets from the sea, converts into clouds, and rains at those places in many times where it is needed. This is how taxes should be collected and distributed. This is how the Kalidas and Raghuvansha has mentioned.
There's a question people ask: who is observing
Yeah,
my karma? So, and I always
yeah,
say that every single atom, sun, moon, stars, because devas have
yeah,
a much stronger administration than manushya, humans,
yeah.
because they observe your karma so that you are not never hidden. So somebody can say, okay, I did some bad activity in the night. I said, you were still not alone. There was somebody observing you. So for those people who doubt, what do you want to say to them? And
No,
we are not talking
actually,
superstitions here. This is science here.
no. It's all science. It's all science. It's all science. I'll tell you one thing. When you are just before a mirror, you are seeing yourself, and there is an ultimate mirror which is always lives in your body. That is your soul. Just leave all other devas like that who are watching your behavior. Your soul is the ultimate recorder. There is a concept black box in a plane. Black box is a complete recorder of all the activities which are taking place in a plane. I don't call it a black box. It's a golden box. It's a silver box. It is It is as white as any sphatic. That box is always there, living in your body system. That is your soul. It watches, it connects, it collects, and also guides you every time. You see, my friends in Western world, if you are doing anything bad, your soul says, "No, Baba, you must not do it." Even million times you are doing bad things, it will say, "Baba, you don't do it." Now it is your mind said, "No, nobody is watching. Nobody is watching. There is no police. There is no person. There is no family members. Let me do it." But after sometimes in an accumulated manner, when you're punished, then again your soul says, "Oh, I had warned you, gentlemen, but you haven't listened to me. Now you are being punished." And punished being by the society, the police, the persons like that, they punish you. So Aditya, this is our soul, which does everything. So we should have a soul, soul believer, SOLESOUL believer. Then you'll find so many problems, so many doubts will be cleared automatically. Aditya.
The Western world thinks that there is no soul, and Krishna talks in 17th chapter. He says, Danava or the demons do not believe in soul, and so I will take Krishna's words. They say that the body has come from chemicals, is going to get die, and it's over, and one life is that's it. There is only one life, and so many Bollywood and Hollywood stars repeat the same lie. Actually, Hollywood is more honest, because most of the Hollywood stars are actually, they understand the preeminence of the soul, but the Bollywood is Indian movie industry is in the propaganda mode, because they are there to undermine the Sanatan culture, but not Hollywood. In many ways, Hollywood speaks, like movies like Matrix, movies like there's a movie by, I won't take the name of the movies, but there are many movies which actually talk about the soul, including the Star Trek, and where they indirectly refer to, because they are in a society where they say there is no soul. So to those people, what do you tell them about karma?
No, actually, Aditya, it is not for me or you or anybody says that soul exists or not. See, once Anand and many of his disciples of Lord Buddha also asked this question, whether soul exists. And Gautam Buddha was silent, just silent, just silent. Throughout the day he was silent. It was dusk. Then there was one dead body was going. So he started, running very small, slow manner as a Dhammam Gacham Gachami, Sangam Sarvam Sangam Gachami, Sangam Sharanam Gachami, like that. All disciples also followed him. At one particular place when dead body was laid down, he asked that this body has got head, yes, me too. Mouth, yes, me too, me too. Hands, that too, me too. Stomach, that too, me too. Let's everything, all parts of the body. That body was also possessing, and this life bodies are possessing. And Lord Buddha said, "What is difference?" And again came running without answering anything. That is soul. This is the soul. And for them, the Bhagavad Gita is okay. I think Kathopanishad should be prescribed for these persons. Let them read Kathopanishad. In Kathopanishad, Rishi says, even the soul herself says that soul doesn't exist. Soul herself says that it has burnt. It doesn't burn. Soul herself thinks that soul has died. It doesn't die. That is the climax of the commitment and conviction of the Rishi. So if they don't believe in soul, so I think it is very difficult to make them understand about Indian philosophy. Indian philosophy and everything is soul based. Aditya.
To all the people who are wondering why I'm asking these questions, and these are not for the Indian audience, these questions are for the Western audience, because there's a misconception on the soul being there or not there. In India, even a rickshawala, the guy who is doing the tricycle pulling man, can tell you there is a soul. So
Yes.
See, the point is that without karma, there is no spirituality. That is for truth.
Yes,
Without
yes,
karma, there is no dharma. So
yes,
even the yajna is called yajna karma. So
yes, Karma.
it is a karma. It is also a karma. So yad johoshi, yad karoshi tadasi, yad tapassasi tat
Yeah,
kurushva mad arpanam. That is the perfection of your karma. So Dr. Bajpayee, now you're showing me a beautiful airport behind the scene. It's a Raipur city, and
yeah,
it's a small city but beautiful airport. And I can see the karma of the government has been good, that these kind of
yeah,
facilities are being developed.
yeah,
And you being the, I think you are the king of education in that area, and in that area you are the vice chancellor. So
Simply, yes, sir, yeah.
so
I don't, yeah.
to your students and to your followers across the world, I think you must be having students all over the world. What do you have to say on this philosophy of karma for them to guide them in their life?
Actually, in one of my Arun Satsai, which is a composition of 7 and 3 couplets, I have said that कर्म कीजिए मीत, बिना कर्म के ना मिले पद, पैसा और प्रीत. Without karma, it's not possible. Karma has got three, you see, shades as such. The prarabdha, which is fate, which people say that it's by chance like that. That too is the product of our previous birth's karma. Another is sanchit. Sanchit is the product of this year, this life's karma. Another is kriyaman, which is the activity at present. There also have written that I have composed पूर्व जन्म के कर्म का शेष फलन प्रारब्ध, इसी जन्म के कर्म का संचित में उपलब्ध, वर्तमान में कर्म की क्रिया योग क्रियमाण, इन्हीं तीन में गति करें जो भी हैं म्रियमाण. It is all. They are the mortal activities. So karma is important. Karma opens the knots of your prarabdha. Without that is not possible. But behind karma, as I told you, nishkam karma, without the desire of fruit, with good intention, which is that lok sangraha, lok kalyan. Karma, main purpose of karma is to do the welfare of the society. If you're doing karma for your, see, fulfilling your self motives, your self interest, that is not his karma. Karma has got many gatis. Vikarma, you have just already mentioned. There is karma, there is a pratikarma, there is a vikarma, and then akarma. Akarma is the fastest, you see, zenith of karma. When karma doesn't appear to be karma, as I told you that in one of the episodes, we take to see, we breathe every time we are breathing. Breathing is a karma. Breathing is done so in a natural manner. It doesn't appear to be karma of the nose or any very activity, but we keep on breathing as that is a karma. From karma, sachist karma, coming to the pratikarma or vikarma, reaching to the akarma state is that in nishkam karma state, that is the real karma state where no self motive, that becomes so natural. As I told you, the sun does karma, rivers do their own karma, air does it for karma, entire climate does it for karma. Similarly, we should also do our karma, perform our duties without expecting even. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your time today, and I really appreciate.
Thank you.
And karmana
Thank you,
gano
Aditya.
gati, but
Karmana
karmana.
Gano.
So it's
Yes,
difficult to
Karmana Gano. Yes, yes.
understand the intricacies of karma, but you can understand that there are. If you read the Bhagavad Gita, you can see directly what karma means in
Yeah,
and what is the importance of soul. And I think simply sometimes I always repeat the words of Adi Sankaracharya, where he says only one book is enough, you know, because Bhagavad Gita gives you a window into the entire Vedic philosophy. But you have to understand when you read that and straight coming from Krishna's mouth, is where he's saying uh, about all this intricate subject matter, but in a very simple way, 1 or 2 lines, 3 lines, and then you can go your deep research. But before that, you understand that Krishna is not an ordinary person. It's Vyasdev calls him Purna Purushottam Bhagwan. Now,
Yes.
so by bringing him down to a human level, you minimize Bhagavad Gita. Then you cannot gain this knowledge. So, so therefore, understanding him to be as someone special and beyond, in that mood, if you read, then you can understand this book properly. And
But
that's what
Aditya, I would like to intervene here itself. But Lord Krishna is not that type of person. He himself brings to a common man.
correct.
He's a Gwala, he's a cowman, he's a charioteer, he's a preacher, he's a soldier, he's a friend, he's a lover, he's a beloved person like that. I think there cannot be any commoner like Krishna. So we should read Gita, try to meditate on Gita, and to reach that state of transcendentalism, so that real meaning of Gita comes into your soul as such. When Gita himself said, Karmane vadikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana. Ma karu phal hetur bhu mate sangos akarmani. See the riders. We can just discuss on this particular shlok, which is the oft-quoted shloka, crux of the entire Bhagavad Gita.
So very well
Yes,
put it.
Aditya.
Very well put it.
Yeah.
And a great session, even though you are at the airport. Thank you for joining and sharing with
Thank
us
you, Aditya.
and taking
Thank
out
you,
your
Aditya.
valuable time. And for
Thank you very
viewers,
much. I am delighted. I am delighted. I am privileged. I am privileged. Always privileged. And you are
very
most welcome to India on 29th of June. We'll be there to receive you, and we'll have many sessions. Personal, we'll have sessions on this issue.
right. So
Okay.
and also for viewers who'd like to connect with Dr. Adrian Vajpayee, there is a playlist on the channel which you can see
Thank you.
all his talks in one place. And also there are very few people who dedicated playlists, and there is Dr. Adrian Vajpayee has it.
Thank
And
you. Thank you, Aditya.
so you can watch all his talks, previous talks there, and let us know your feedback. Namaste and thank you.
Thank you, Aditya. Thank you, Aditya.